Welcome back, everybody, to A&M Reviews. It's Muhammad and Adrian, and we're here to review the Disney Plus original series Loki. But essentially, this series is about Loki and the events that happened after Avengers Endgame. So when he escaped from 2012 Avengers. But what did you get from the Disney Plus original series Loki?
For me, Loki was much better than expected. I did not think I'd like it as much as I did. Loki was reaching that Batman territory for me where it's like, okay, I love this guy, but he's a little too much. See him a little too often. What are you doing with him? Right. But no, I enjoyed the series. It didn't go where I thought it was going to go when you get into the end of the series. And really, the whole, I didn't know much about the timekeepers before this, and how they all worked. But I was happily surprised.
Yeah, me too. I mean, as far as Loki, I really don't care about his character that much. We do get to see him relive some of his highlights of his life throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And even though we saw the end of him in Infinity War, it wasn't like, wow, they're killing one of my favorite characters. It was more like, wow, Thanos is just that guy. He's just kill anybody. But I felt a little bit more sorry for him in this. They do give some more background to him, his motivations. They kind of explain why he might be doing things and what he really wants. And we get to see a lot of growth in his character.
Definitely. I think particularly in that first episode and the kind of breaking him down, showing him his entire life as it was written, it does kind of make you feel bad for him. And it makes you question in comic books if characters were able to think and comprehend, break the fourth wall, how it might feel being cast as the villain who's never supposed to win. I think some shows and movies have gone that route, and what's that, Megamind? Isn't that one where someone crosses signs or something?
Well, Megamind, well, yeah, he does kind of cross sides, but he starts out as the villain and then creates another villain to have a superhero to go up against, and then that hero turns into a villain. More of so they kind of role reversal.
Yeah. But it's an interesting concept, and we don't get to see it fleshed out like this. Some of those deeper questions, it is nicer to have a series to go through and learn about it. What I will say, what I love and hate about Disney Plus is they don't release all the episodes at once like Netflix, which is fine because it builds anticipation, and it makes it an event every week. But it was very hard waiting week after week to see what was going to happen, because this show really is a continuous story, and it's not even like they left cliffhangers. It was just like it was building on every episode so drastically. So it was definitely fun to watch.
I would definitely agree, but my indifferent feeling about Loki, I had to watch it 2 times just to feel that same way. The anticipation building. It wasn't towards like up until about the end when I felt like the anticipation was really building, because we were getting to know what was actually happening. Because there are some confusing parts. It is a big mystery of what's going on. Who is this variant who's messing up the timeline? But as we got closer and closer to really stuff outside of Loki, I think I became more interested.
Definitely. And without getting into too much detail on a side tangent, do you think the earlier episodes in WandaVision were more or less confusing than the earlier episodes in this?
No, I mean, these were straight to the point, really. I knew exactly what was going on. They explained almost everything. In WandaVision, that was more of, okay, let's get past this part. I mean, it's good nostalgia.
You wasn't feeling the 60s and the 50s?
No, I mean, I had enough in that in the first episode, I think. And it kept going. I think it was only 3 episodes, but it kind of felt longer the more that we had to wait.
It definitely did. It was only 3, but it definitely did feel longer. There were some points in the series that I was a bit bored in Loki. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think there was much they could have changed to change that for me. It's just the way the story was written, and the way they chose to make it make sense. But I thought some of the beats were a little slow, and some of the later episodes, there were really big moments, but there were also like, why are we still sitting here? Why are we still thinking? Why are we moving on?
I got that. I definitely got that. Yeah. Especially between like conversations with spoiler alert, himself in a different timeline. But
right. That they were on that train too long.
I didn't even care.
They were on that train too long.
I did not care at all. I was like, come on, let's get to the next thing. It's like he's in love with himself. I didn't care.
Literally. Which is also like an uncomfortable concept.
Yeah, I don't know how to get into that, but it's a little weird. But I'm trying to think of anything before we go into some real spoilers. But yeah, overall, I think it was a pretty good series. Pretty much, I think all of these series that Marvel have come out with been pretty good. None of them have been bad or even just good. They've really exceeded expectations, at least for me.
I agree, but I would say I had high expectations as a super fan, so I don't know, really exceeded them because they were unrealistic to start with. But yeah, they did a good job. They did a really good job, and I almost feel like in some ways I do want to know, okay, where are the movies going to pick up with these shows, and how important is it going to be? And I feel like they need to strike a nice balance, because it can't be that these shows were necessary to really understand what's happening in the movies, but it also can't be that these shows were completely unnecessary and everything is explained away in 2 seconds in the movies. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what happens at the end of Loki is definitely not going to be just skipped over. There's no skipping over that.
Well, not skipped over, but it could be just like the multiverse is broke. We need to fix it now.
Hold on. You're spoiling.
Well, if y'all don't know by now, listen. But
you haven't even got to the beginning.
Remember Back to the Future, whenever Doc said, "Marty, we have to go now. It's about your children." Like, they could just start off like that and not really discuss anything that occurred.
I don't know. There's no way that you can't not discuss some of this stuff. Maybe they start in another universe or something. I don't know. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves. Thanks for watching. And if you would like to be featured on our podcast, make sure to click the link in the description.